Good evening, babes. Good evening, everyone that is watching already. Good evening, everyone, again to the Legacy Builder series and our sixth edition of the Legacy Builders on Babes Redefined. Your host, my name is Dolakwa Conte. I'm the head of BR Workforce and a member of the advisory board for Business Babes Redefined. And I'm thrilled to be here with all of you tonight. I'm thrilled to see you. Who is happy to be here? Let me see your responses in the chat room as I visit the Facebook to see those of us that have joined the early commerce. I want to see your reaction in the meeting room, and I want to make sure that someone is watching me at this time. Let me see you. Just give a shout out if you happen to be online at this time and you're live watching us. You're welcome to the Legacy Builder series, and it's our sixth edition. We're going to be having a lovely time. We're going to be having another babes, yeah, tonight. I can see one person watching. Let me see your comments in the comment section, and let me see what you're expecting to, gain from the short time we're going to have together today. We're going to have a beautiful discussion session, and I can tell you that our guest is ready to take the floor. She's ready to take the floor. And in a short while, I'll be having her. Before then, I want to make sure that you are all online and all listening to me. Please send the link to someone. Let the person send to another, send to someone that knows someone, and let them know that it's another edition of Legacy series. Good to have you, babes. Good to have you. Good to have you. Let's share this on our various WhatsApp groups and get all our babes in. Let's get all our babes in at this time. If you can see me, if you can hear me, please indicate in the comment section. I want to be sure that babes can hear me. Let's indicate in the comment section if you can see me and if you can hear me. I want to make sure that we are all here and we are all ready to gain from the discussion today because it's going to be a beautiful session. You don't want to miss it. All right. I'll just give some time to more babes to join us and then we start in the next 2 minutes. I'll give some time for more babes to join the meeting. Please make sure that you announce this on your WhatsApp groups. If you're joining us now, if you're a leader, make sure that babes are joining. Make sure that babes are joining the meeting. It's just going to be about an hour and a half and we are done. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Tell your babes it's just a click. They should just go ahead and click on the link and join. You can join on Facebook. You can join on YouTube as well. All right. As I said, my name is Dolapo Conte and I'm going to be your host for this evening. For those that may be new to Babes Redefined, it's important for you to know why we are here today. Babes Redefined is a community that empowers women to reach their full potential in every area of life. And this includes spiritually, psychologically, economically, socially, as well as physically, right? Our mission is to actually create a supportive environment where women can grow, learn, and thrive. BR started officially on the 15th of November 2010 as a group on Facebook, and we have evolved since then to more than 90,000 membership. A community hubs, for women in various locations includes our campuses that we call them campuses. They were previously called zones. Started in 2013. And currently, we have over 58 campuses in Africa, United States, Europe, as well as the Middle East. We became registered as a ministry officially in 2011, and we started the BR magazine, the quarterly magazine, in 2014. BR is registered also as an NGO, BR Initiative, which was inaugurated in 2016, and it's a community for to support young girls to help them to grow the land as well as thrive. It is our social responsibility to the community around us, basically. So, as we approach our 15th anniversary, we know BR started on the 12th of November 2010. So, we're going to be 15 by November 12. And I'm sure that we're all looking forward to the anniversary. We're excited to share inspiring stories from all our founding members and leaders that have actually played a significant role in shaping BR's vision as well as mission. Today, we have the rare privilege of speaking to one of such founding members, and who has actually been instrumental in making BR what it is today. And I'm going to be welcoming her to the show shortly. While I'll still encourage us to ensure that we are getting all of our members, leaders, let's try and get our members in. If you're a babes and you know a babes that is not here, let them know that Legacy Builders is on and they should be here. If you're not here, you are wrong. If you're a babes and you're not here, you're wrong. Let's make sure that we support this. We support all the leaders that are going to be here today and ensure that we are here. All right. Okay. So we are going forward with today's event. And shortly, I'm going to be reading the citation for our host. Please listen very well as I, talk about our profile, as I narrate a profile to you. Just listen very well. Maybe there's something you want to pick and you want to identify with her. This is actually an opportunity for every one of us. Dr. Olusola Sotunde is a nutrition scientist, registered dietitian, and food systems policy specialist with extensive experience bridging research, practice, and global development. She currently serves as a senior food systems and nutrition advisor with Global Affairs Canada, where she provides technical leadership on nutrition sensitive development and resilient agri food systems. Dr. Shotunde studied nutrition and dietetics at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, Nigeria, and completed a PhD in nutrition at Northwest University, Potchefstroom, that was in South Africa. She has also conducted postdoctoral research at McGill University, Canada, publishing widely on maternal as well as child nutrition, body composition, vitamin D status, and the role of nutrition in health outcomes. Beyond her professional work, Shola is passionate about women's empowerment. She served on the governing council of Babes Redefined, a global Christian women's initiative, where she provided oversight for the South African and Canadian chapters up until January 2018. She's an active member of Life Center Church Ottawa, where she serves on the worship team, prayer team, and as a member of the Pastors Council. With a unique blend of academic expertise, development experience, and community leadership, Dr. Shotunde brings a compelling voice to conversations on nutrition, food systems, transformations, and faith-driven leadership. Please welcome to the program today, to the session today, Dr. Shola Sotunde. Thank you so much, babes, and good to have you. How you doing?
It's my pleasure to be here. Hi, Babes Olusola. Good to see you
Hey,
again.
same here, same here. We're all Canada babes, by the way.
Exactly.
So this
I'm
is
like,
Canada bonding
wow.
here. All right, so nice to have you. I'm so glad to see you. How has your day been? I know that it's afternoon over there. It's 2:09 p.m. And
Yeah,
yeah, our day is just starting. Most of our viewers are from Nigeria. They're rounding up their day already.
yeah.
So how's your day been?
It's been a good day. It's been pretty chill. Did some cleaning, Saturday
Okay.
cleaning around the house, and
Yeah.
a bit of prep for soup preparation for the week. So
Yep.
it's been good. And you, how has your day been?
Yeah, sounds like my normal Saturday, although today is not my normal Saturday because I'm not in town. I'm in the US at the moment. I came for work and then decided to visit my family. So I'm with my parents in law and I'm being pampered here. So I'm not doing any Saturday work
Oh, that's
for
lovely.
the first time in, weeks.
That's
Thank God.
lovely.
Yeah, so I've just been resting and relaxing until next week, Monday, when I'm going to be leaving here. So
Oh,
good
I'm
to see you again. So good to put a face to the name. I know that we see on the, we discuss on the WhatsApp groups, but we've really never had an opportunity to meet in person, and that's how Canada is. You can be together for years, and because everywhere is very far away from each other. Okay. So let's get on to the business of today. I'm so happy to have you. And I want to say again to all our babes, especially babes in Canada, we need to make sure that we join. We have babes Shotunde here. We should be supporting our own. So Canada babes, if there's anyone I want to see here, I want to see Canada babes joining us right now. And Canada leaders, please take note of that. Let them know that we have our dearest babes Olusola Sotunde joining us. We should not be missing this. Thank you so much, babes, for accepting to come here today. So I'm going to jump right into. We have a lot of questions for you. You're on the hot seat today, so get ready. I hope you're ready to answer all of the questions.
I'll try as much as possible.
Good, 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 good. So, yes, so I'm gonna start with, I know that previous babes that have come on this program have told us how they joined BR. Maybe someone added, a friend added them, and then some people it was the visionaire, telling them about the vision, and that prompted them to come in. So which group do you fall into? How did you join BR? And how has it been in terms of your roles in BR? What roles have you occupied since you joined?
Yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Bizdala, for.
yeah,
So my story of becoming a member of BR is not unique, as you will have heard.
yeah,
A couple of other babes spoke about their experiences, and mine is a bit similar.
yep.
So I joined because Pimo added me to the group. So a bit of a
Interesting.
background story is I knew Pimo when I was in the university. We were in different universities, although,
Yeah.
but I was in Federal University. I was then University of Agriculture, Belkuda, and he
Interesting.
knew I. But we were both following two boys or two men around at that time. So she
Yeah.
was going about the PD. They were engaged. I was going about with my now husband. We were engaged, and both
Interesting.
of us had been friends since high school
Mm-hmm.
because they
Yeah.
were in the same fellowship and all that. So we got to meet through them, and we kept that relationship one way or the other. So
Mm.
when people started Big Redefined, he invited me in. I
Interesting.
think actually because I did a bit of research to remember exactly when I joined. She invited me on the
Yeah.
11th of April,
First.
2021, 2011,
Wow.
2011,
2011. Yeah.
2011. So that was my experience.
Yeah.
If I may, yeah, that was my experience joining to start with. If For that one. Uh, just a bit of notes. The
Yeah.
background music where I am is a bit loud. Is it interfering with anything?
No, we can hear anything. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So, from what you've said, you obviously joined BR even before BR actually started online. So, yeah, actually one of the first people that Pimo had shared this vision with. If you had joined in 2011.
I
Yeah.
think it actually started in 2010,
2010.
11, November,
Yeah,
November
2010.
2010,
Yes. So it
and
was
I
shortly
joined
after.
exactly.
Yes,
It was
yes. That
shortly
means it was
after,
shortly after it started
and
that you joined.
the a bit of the uniqueness to that
Yeah.
was I was in South Africa at that time. I was in
Mm,
South Africa with my family,
wow.
taking a leave of absence from work.
Mm-hmm.
My husband was transferred to South Africa to work,
Yeah.
and I joined him. But I was home with two little
Mm,
kids. So my
wow.
son, my first child, my son
Mm-hmm.
was 4 years old. My daughter was just a year and 6 months.
Interesting.
I was also finishing my master's program in Nigeria at
Mm,
that point. So I was in South Africa, a
yeah.
lot online on Facebook, and then I saw Maureen's invitation to friend invitation. I guess I think that was a
Yeah.
first. Oh, really
Mm-hmm.
great. It's been a while since I've seen Amanda. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, she invited me to, I think she sent a message to speak
Mm-hmm.
about PR, and then invited me into the group. I was like, sure, why not? And that
Yeah.
was how I joined. And I started also adding a lot of all my friends that
Oh,
I knew on Facebook onto the
I
group. Like
know.
even my friends that were not on Facebook, I was telling them about the group and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the BR spirit. That's once you catch the fire, you just want to get someone else to get into the flow as well. Thank you so much. I'm so glad to know that you were actually one of the pioneer leaders as well in South Africa. From what I see in your profile, tell me how South Africa started and how you were able to.
Oh, okay. So I guess South Africa. When I think about it, was that I haven't given myself space to do that as much as I
Yeah.
would have liked. But I think
Mm.
uh, automatically I started via South Africa in a way because of
Yeah.
course Dave's Refiner started. There were zones, and then
Mm-hmm.
I think I can't even remember
Yeah.
which one happened first, being
Mm.
the member of the governing council, or starting out in zones. I think
Yeah.
startup was more of
Started
a
out in zones. Yeah.
yeah, it was more of a zone at that
Yeah.
point. And
Yeah.
when that started, because it wasn't that immediate when that started,
Mm.
because I've also added a couple of people that I knew, but then I
Yeah.
wasn't adding Nigerians. I was adding people that were not Nigerians.
Yeah.
So startup
Interesting.
was unique in that regard, and
Yeah.
then started growing bit by bit. It
Good.
was more challenging. I
Yeah.
must say, it was more challenging because it's a different terrain. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's the way the system worked and started out in Nigeria. There was more of zones and people closer to each other. But
Yep.
in South Africa, we were sort of like targeting the whole country, and
Mm.
it was I think we had more of. I remember there was a particular time that we had a get together that Maury came around, and that was really
Wow.
amazing. Then it was
Beautiful.
more of babes in Johannesburg, so we
Mm-hmm.
just had a nice get together in yeah,
Interesting.
Trish's house. She's actually South African of blended
Yeah.
memory, and we went. We had a
Mm-hmm.
great time. It was a combination of a lot of other non-Nigerians, and then one of Pimo's friends that he came
Yeah.
to minister at their
Yeah.
church, also part of that. So that was a bit of the
Yeah.
South African story to start with, but then it
Yeah.
grew. And then people started adding their friends. People started adding their friends, and then when I moved from Centurion in Pretoria to
Mm.
Potchefstroom for my program, I also started adding Christian friends that were doing their PhD with me
Yeah.
as well into this. So
Mm.
I had a white South African member. We had Kenyan friends, yeah, Kenyan South
Yeah.
African. We had Ghanaian South African members as well joining. So I remember that we also had a mini get together celebration at one point in time in South
Yeah.
Africa in Potchefstroom as well. But by this time, the Nigerian community of
Had
the
grown.
started becoming more vibrant. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember the two zonal coordinators that I started working with in South Africa were Babes Olusola Sotunde and Babes Fumi Dini.
Mm-hmm.
They were amazing. They were amazing. And
Interesting.
Babes Shin was living in another province, if I remember correctly, and Babes
Yeah.
Fumi was living in Cape Town, which is
Yeah.
a different province as well. So it was farther. So even
Mm-hmm.
for them, we didn't really get to see each other. I think we only met once. Uh,
Wow.
yes, but we had a couple of opportunities because now that I'm thinking about it, there was another time that Pimo came and myself and Babe Shane just went out for lunch. I still saw that picture and I just saw that picture of Babe Fine yesterday when I was doing.
Wow.
So yeah, so it was
Yeah.
it was a really good one. It was
Yeah.
a really good experience.
Yeah.
It's possible. So that was the journey of that was part of the
Yeah.
journey of South African campus.
Interesting. I think you've managed to answer the second question, so I don't need to bother you about it because I wanted to ask you how your contributions have impacted BR. I can see that you've built a community of sisters, even in South Africa. And one thing that I picked from what you said is, despite the fact that you guys have never really met each other, just that virtual community, you've been able to, bring about the sisterhood and impact each other, and build a community of women that are striving towards, the vision, building the totality of a woman, despite the fact that you're not, seeing each other in person. And that is what BR has helped to form, because it's not really easy for all of us to come together. And, the little times that we have to be in person, we just try to maximize it. But despite that, when we see, it's like we've been seen every day. Just like me and yourself now, I'm sure that we've chatted, sometimes, and then all of a sudden it's like I've seen you, I've been, I've known you and all of that. And that's what PR is all about. Thank you
And
so much, sis.
And I
Yeah.
must say, just to add to that point, it wasn't
Yeah.
done alone. It wasn't just, well, of course, it wasn't just me. It
Mm,
wasn't done alone at all. Because
yes.
even coming on board on the vision for BR South Africa, I remember
Yep.
correct. I remember vividly Babes Demila Day. I think,
Mm,
and she became one of the zona coordinators eventually. Babes Demila Day also came in at some point. So it's like Babes were pulling their weight. Like,
wow.
even though we had never met each other, I
Mm,
remember the biggest get together we must have had was in 2016 December, when we
mm-hmm.
had it around the Gauteng province, it's called. So that's where you have your Johannesburg, your Pretoria,
Okay.
your, I think, Randsburg, if I'm not.
Mm,
So Babes came together and we met in Johannesburg, which was a big central, and we had a get together.
wow.
That was really beautiful, and it was the
Yeah.
same year where Babes in Cape Town. So Babes Fumi was leading that part, where Babes in
Yeah.
Cape Town also met together in person.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't one person's job, but one of the
Wow.
things that I would say really helped us was we had a vibrant WhatsApp community. So
Mm,
activities were happening in the background on the WhatsApp,
yeah.
getting to know one another. So we
Mm-hmm.
sort of replicated the KYB that was on the bigger
On the
platform.
biggest. Yeah.
Favorites, because it gives you the opportunity to know people, and
Yep.
then people were also there for one another in terms of when there
Yeah.
were movies, we had times of praying together,
Mm-hmm.
which is possible. Also, yeah, times of course, there will be times of conflict, a little bit here
As
and there.
well.
It
Don't worry,
wasn't
you tell us about that.
it wasn't really painful. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was actually the
Yeah.
experience. It wasn't done alone at all. It
Yeah.
wasn't it
Yeah.
wasn't a one man thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite acknowledge that fact. There's no way possible that you can possibly run Babes Redefined alone without Babes, right? All our Babes were always up to the task, and, to get things done, and supportive of the leadership. And
Yeah,
that is what has made BR what it is today.
yeah.
Thank you for bringing that out. Yeah, I would go to the next one. And that is, I know that, as we said earlier, BR's vision is to reach out to women and ensure that they're empowered in every totality of a woman, ensure that they're empowered in every area of their lives. How do you think this has evolved over the years? I know that when we started as, the online group. How do you think the expression of this vision and mission has, changed and evolved over the years?
I must say, I
Yeah.
love what a couple of my sisters that came that were
Yeah.
interviewed before me had
Yeah.
said about
Yeah.
how the vision remained the
Mhm.
same, but the
Yeah.
expressions of it had evolved over time.
Exactly.
And that was great to see, and it's still great to see, because like you said, the goal is the totality of a woman.
Yep.
But then one of the things we're also realizing is the
Yeah.
need of a particular woman in
Hmm.
2011,
Yep.
like the need of Babes Shola, the need of Babes Dolapo
Mm. Mm.
2011 is different from the needs of the same Babes Dolapo in 2021.
Absolutely.
Also different from the even 4 years down the line, say 2025, those
Mm.
needs are different, because now women are in different stages of their lives, and
Yeah.
that's one thing that I've seen Babes Redefined do so well
Yeah.
over the years. It's also the community support as much as possible. I've seen people that do not know one another, that will never even have the opportunity to ever meet,
Mm.
rise up and be an amazing support once
Exactly.
it's been identified.
Yeah.
So watching that, and how things moved from just being online to being
Hmm.
able to impact people's lives individually. because there are
Yes.
some people. We have a group of over 81,000 women. There are some of them that will never ever speak or write or comment on the group,
Mm,
but they are learning, they're absorbing, and they go into the personal space and they implement this. And I
absolutely.
seen that several times. I know a couple of babes that will say no word, but then
Hmm.
when we meet or we chat privately, we hear them
Yeah.
say, "Oh, I was aware of this," and they might not even say what they did until
Yeah.
you hear from the person that is the recipient that says, "Oh, I don't know who this person is, but thank this person
Yeah.
for me. They did."
Mm,
So being able to transition from just an online community to a
yep.
community that impacts the different individual lives where we are at, it's amazing. One
Yep.
of the other things that I also see is how the part of the mission is how we are not ashamed of being deliberate with the girl child.
Mm.
Sometimes we wonder and say, but does that mean we have to neglect the boy child? No, afford to,
Yeah.
because the reality is the person we're training, when we're training the girl child or
Hmm.
supporting the girl child, they're still
Yep.
going to be in the world, and they're still going to mate with, they're still going to be friends with, they're still going to be family members with the boy child. So if you're not raising them up together, you're creating
Hmm.
problems right down in the future. So
Yeah.
but understanding that different people can cater to different specific needs, and
Yeah.
we be deliberate. Also, knowing fully well our roots is Nigerian, and we are
Hmm.
familiar with the challenges we have, particularly around culture,
Yep.
which sometimes our religion, and when I say religion, not relationship with God now, not our
Mm-mm.
spirituality,
Yeah.
not as Christians, because so many
Yeah.
times we accept the name, the person of Christ, but we
Yep.
ignore principles. And sometimes we do that a lot as Christians, because we allow
Hmm.
the worldly culture to shape how we express ourselves in Christ.
Yeah.
So I love how Babes Define are being deliberate about that, reaching out to girls in schools, and sometimes babes in diaspora might not be able to do that in their own community. But what we do most times is support financially as well, either in your
Good.
capacity as an individual or in your capacity as a group. So seeing everybody all hands on deck come on board to be able
Hmm.
to provide support in their own right is amazing, and has always been something that I'm super proud of. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I kind of 100% agree with you. Talking about the evolution from being an online community to impacting, the smaller groups in WhatsApp, in person, and then going all out there to impact the world, the girl child with outreaches in form of BR initiative. Those are all the forms of expression of BRs over the years, which you have mentioned, rightly mentioned. And it's been so exciting, seeing. And there's something else you said about the fact that we're not just stagnated with meeting the needs in the moment. We are evolving with the needs of babes as the needs of babes evolved. When we felt that it was necessary for us to have, smaller groups, it was necessary for us to meet in person. We evolved, to ensure that we're able to cater to those needs. And it's been an exciting experience. And I'm sure there's still going to be more coming. We're just in our 15th year. We only just started.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Babe Shola. Yes, so I'll go to the next. And you talked about something before that. Of course, there were challenges. We all know that in a group, when we talk about groups, there are always, challenges. There are different. They talk about group dynamics in social. I think in psychology, the norming stage, the forming stage, eventually the stage where people settle down and they get to know each other and understand each other better. How do you think, what are the most significant challenges that you have faced as a leader in Babes Redefined? And how did you overcome all of these challenges?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
for me personally, it's conflict management. So I'm a person that avoid confrontation at all costs.
Mm,
So coming in, being a part of this group of women, and seeing how some people express. I think it was Babes Bookie that said something like keyboard warriors. Like
keep on warriors.
and, and I think for me, it was initially it was in South Africa, because in South
Yeah.
Africa it was a year, no,
Hmm.
an hour ahead of Nigeria. So
Okay.
log in earlier than those that are
Hmm.
still in Nigeria. And
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
someone post this up, and in my head I'm like, how did why how and I'm like,
How would you?
"Why? How did this happen, and all that." So it was quite, but then I got to
Yeah.
realize that people are in different
Yeah.
phases of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes like understanding how to, and that's one of the things that BR actually taught me. Like there's no matter how well intentioned your
Mm.
words are, when it's typed, there are nuances the person can never ever pick up on, except
So
you're
like,
very deliberate. So if
mm.
I could type and say something, and the person, it depends on what mood they are in, and not just mood, it depends on what is happening around them at the
Yeah.
time that they're reading it. It depends on
Yeah.
how rested they are or not. And then it depends on, do they even
Mm.
know that, is it
Mm.
coming from a place of
Yep.
attack? Is it coming
Yep.
from love? So that was
Yep.
my biggest challenge. And I remember that was for the bigger group, but then I had
Yeah.
amazing. I know people have talked about it. I had amazing support of the Covenant Sisters, and when I said the
Mm.
Covenant Sisters, this were the
Yeah.
group of first
Yeah.
Babes Redefined governing council members, and
Yes.
12 of us with PMO as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
when we have challenges, we bring it to this WhatsApp group to be like,
Yep.
"Hey, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what's going on." And you get support.
Yes.
So that
Yes.
helped. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember vividly, there was an incident in South Africa, because I only became the governing council member for Canada in I think May 28, 2016. So I
Okay.
had like 5 years of doing 5 years or less doing that in South Africa. In South
Yep.
Africa, I remember there was a time there was a particular major conflict issue,
Mm.
and I had to really weigh in, and I had to put my feet down, and
Mm.
it wasn't easy for me as a person who avoids confrontation. It wasn't easy at all,
Yeah.
because it's what they call the apologetics, the Christian apologetics. my
Yes.
first my first reaction is always like, maybe they didn't mean it that way, and everybody else,
Mm.
really, really, Shola. No.
Yeah.
But in this case, I knew without a doubt that I had to
Mm-hmm.
do this in the board. It
Mm.
wasn't, it wasn't, it wasn't funny. It wasn't
Yep.
easy. It wasn't palatable, but
Yep.
it was fun. And I'm glad, because eventually
Mm.
later down the line, I got to know about some other incidences involving the same person that I had no clue about. But
Mm.
when this was brought to my attention, I just
Yeah.
said, "Worry, it's gonna be okay. It's been." But
Mm.
that one still, I still remember it.
Yeah, I kind of relate with you 100% because I myself, I am not, before BR, I was not, I always avoid conflicts. That was me. In the family, I'm the firstborn, and I remember the last born always telling me that, yeah, I know you're not going to say anything, you're not going to do anything, like you're supposed to take sides with this person, because I'm always torn in between both of them, my two siblings, and I'm like, I'm not going to take sides. But at some point, I think BR was a training ground, just like you said. It was a training ground for most of us to learn conflict resolution, to approach issues head on,
Yeah,
and try to navigate between conflicting personalities,
yeah,
basically, right?
yeah.
We had different people, just like you said, different personalities, and all these personalities, you just needed to, the way you handle A is not the way you handle B,
I know.
right? You
I
have
know.
to know the context, you have to understand the background, and you have to lead with love at the end of the
Yeah,
day, as you said.
exactly.
Yes, thank you
Exactly.
so thank you so much for that. I know it's the same thing everywhere. As women, there's some people who say women have problems. No, we don't have problems. It's just
No,
human beings.
no,
It's just
yeah.
that we love to bond. Unlike guys, they don't have that bonding, so there's really not going to be any conflicts.
We can
But we
avoid.
love,
They can
yes,
just.
they can avoid it.
They
They can
can play.
avoid
They
it.
can play basketball together, for example, for years
Yeah.
and not know each other's names. You hear Chief.
Thank
You hear
you.
Chief. You hear whatever. Wait, what's his name?
Thank
I don't know.
you. Thank you. But
Other
we
women
get
will want to
deep.
know the name, how are your
Yes.
children, your spouse, your
Exactly.
siblings, and yeah,
Exactly.
and because we go deeper, it hurts
Yes.
when stuff happens.
When stuff happens, that's
Yeah,
it. Summary, it hurts. Once you form that bond and anything happens, We get triggered. Okay. How do you think BR has made a positive impact on its members and the wider community, and what stories or examples stand out for you? I know you've talked about how Trichy is to the girl child. What specific stories can you remember that, BR has accomplished in the past in terms of social work?
Wow. I so many examples, but there is one that I will pick up on. But before I
Yeah.
get that, there are so many ways Babes
Yep.
Define that impacted life.
Mm.
And I will be selfish and start with mine, for example. So a little bit of the story that I didn't share initially was at the time when I joined Babes Define. So this was me in Nigeria. I was working. I was working. I was busy with my master's program. I had my own consultancy organization on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I was busy.
Yeah.
And then I moved to South Africa, and I was waiting to finish my master's program. I didn't have a job. I was a full stay-at-home mom with my two kids who were under 5,
Mm.
and I was running. I was like, I could
Mm.
remember, and I was studying for an exam as well at that time. But I could
Wow.
remember there was a day, and I was in my room, and I'm like, is this gonna be my life now? Just listening
Mm.
to old two do's, this Mickey Mouse is
Children.
Mickey Mouse, but I still have
Yeah.
some nightmares. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, "God,
Yeah.
I'm not cut out for this. Like, I
Mm.
appreciate people, and I know people who
Mm-hmm.
chose to deliberately, and they do it really well. But I knew
Yeah.
myself. I knew I was failing at this. So, and then was a time that I joined Babes Redefined, and then I had this online community. So you hear stories of other people that are in similar situations as I am,
Mm.
and you realize that, you know what, I'm not alone.
Not alone.
I was also in a different
Yeah.
country, and note that for me, it was a time that we couldn't afford cable, for example. So
Mm.
we would watch initially before we could afford cable, because it was cable that brought the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse thing that these kids want to watch all day. But if I switched to the local station, everything was in a language that I didn't understand. So here I was. I looked like my people there, but I couldn't understand their language if we're not conversing in English. So I didn't
Mm.
have to start with at this period of time. So remember, I got to South Africa in January
Yeah.
2011, and
Yeah.
Pimo added me to the group in April 2011. So it was
Yeah.
it was it was a 3 month period, and then I found this community online, and my sanity was maintained because I
Of
could
course.
relate with people online, and people
Yep.
had, and also I could be a solution to
Mm-hmm.
some things. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I'll see stuff, but I wouldn't say a single word. I would
Yeah.
just pray about it. And in praying for other people, my own problems were resolved, because that's how God does things. So that that had been my own experience in how BR has impacted lives.
Yes.
One other experience that really stand out to me was a widow. There was a widow at some point
Mm-hmm.
had issues, and she was I think she was it was something that had to do with finances, and
Mm.
things were really tough and all that, and it was put on online on the
Yeah.
group, and before we know it, people had just come up, and one of it that really touched me was when we got, as leaders, we got to know the people, the list of people that contributed and all that. And I saw some names on that list of people. Even the first person to reach out to this person is someone that I
Mm.
know very well that does not comment on the group.
Mm.
He is one of the most silent beings.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's not just the people that comment that
Yeah.
are touched by the stories of people. It's not just them that will reach out to people and help them. And that
Mm.
really made me also, like, it
Yeah.
reinforced the fact that we are on the right track.
Very
And
true.
vision
Mm-hmm.
that God gave Pimo, he
Mm-hmm.
knew what he was doing when he gave her that vision, and
Yeah.
she stood true to it. And that
Yeah.
that was that was that's one thing for me that has been impactful in the lives of people that
Yeah.
the few that I know.
Yeah.
Not what if we have the opportunity to ask everyone, there will be some
Yeah.
experience that even I would have forgotten.
Yeah. Very, very, very profound. Awesome. I think one thing I picked from all you said is the fact that, the some silent, I'll say silent babes matter, right? A lot of
Yeah.
times we
Yeah.
think that, we can feel the impact, we can see people impacted, and some people are expressive. We should remember that personalities are different, and some women are not very expressive. They might not say it, but the truth is that they're getting impacted. And they're also
Yeah.
given that is when you get impacted by when you feel some connection to the house. That is when you give of you. If for someone to be financially committed, the person has to have been impacted, by what programs, events, by what the vision and the mission speaks to. And that is why they can all go out to do what they are doing. And reaching out to widows, babes coming out in mass to donate to causes, to donate to good causes, right, in Babes Redefined has been awesome. And that is what has, kept us as one over the years and enabled us to achieve the vision and mission of BR. And we are still on track by the grace of God. Thank you so much for pointing that out. I know that there are a lot.
If I may add
Yes,
something
go
to what
ahead.
you pulled out,
Yes,
sometimes you might, some of these babes might actually also be expressive somewhere else, and you know
true.
them, and you're not wondering why they're not expressive here. But the
Yeah.
reality is the space that they are at.
Mm, mm,
An example that is really coming to my heart right now was the
yeah.
babes in South Africa. The
Yeah.
reality is, I added her because I got to know
Mm,
her in person, and she's one of my greatest gifts from God as an adult.
mm,
I got to
mm.
know her, I met her in person, but she was not a member on the group on Facebook. And she had her reasons for that because she was not on social media for security reasons and for
Yeah,
personal reasons, which I totally understood. But
exactly.
these babes on the WhatsApp group in South Africa and beyond the WhatsApp group, because she was also uniquely positioned in her profession.
Mm,
And almost, I can say categorically, over 50% of the people, the babes that were in South Africa then, that as at that time before I left in 2016, had
yeah.
been impacted one way or the other physically by these babes. And
Wow.
talking about our time, our
Mm-hmm,
expertise,
mm-hmm.
our finances, support.
Yeah.
She's the type that she'll be like, "Oh, I just woke up. I think I just felt in my spirit to send this babe something. Oh,
Mm,
this babe posted something online on the group, and I'm praying, and the Lord just laid in
mm,
my heart to post something.
mm.
We're never in the same province anyway.
Yeah.
So there are people like that, and like you said,
Mm-hmm.
silent babes matter.
Yeah, silent base matter. I think that is, a word for those of us leaders that are right there, thinking that babes are not being impacted, getting discouraged because someone is not responding to your chat, someone is not responding to your messages. The truth is that, just do an experiment and say, I want to close the group today. And that's when you see them coming out to say, no, you can't close this group. We love this community. So
Yeah,
in one thing we should just all realize is we have different personalities, and managing those personalities as leaders is key.
yeah,
And that's what makes us BR leaders at the end of the day, our resilience. And
yeah.
that is why BR has endured over the years. Pimo has not given up on all of us, because if all of us remain silent, people will just say, "Oh, maybe we don't need to have this redefined again."
No,
But we thank God. We
yeah.
thank God for how far He has brought us.
And we
So how
bless God
was
for verbal
yes?
babes. Like we
y-
really, really bless God for the babes that speak up. Like
I tell you,
God bless you, like
yes,
so
yes.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
God for the outspoken babes as well. We see you, we hear you, and we see what you're doing. God bless you. Yeah.
amen.
So talking about Pimo,
Yeah.
how was it like working with Pimo? I know, from what
Oh,
you said, right? You've known her even before Babes Redefined. How was it working with her in leadership? And how has she influenced your personal life itself? How has she impacted you? Right.
oh, amazing. So she's one person that I look at with amazement,
Mm,
and I'll share my experiences with her.
yep.
So I told you that I met her when we were in the university, but those were like
Yes.
off meetings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
after university, after I had my son, we were still living in Ikorodu then,
Yeah.
and we were living in Abuja, and we've not had any contact or anything whatsoever.
Okay.
And and I was going for a conference in Abuja, the Nigerian Dietetic Conference in Abuja
Okay.
with my son. So I
Yeah.
flew to Abuja, and by one way or the other, my husband and our husband were talking, and my husband said to her husband, "Oh, Shola is in Abuja for a conference, by the way." And
Mm.
her husband just came, was like, "Which hotel? I'm just coming to pick her up. She's going to our house just to come spend some few hours with us."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." I said to my husband, "Okay, that's cool." And he came and he picked myself. My son was less than a year old then, and
Mm.
we got to their house. And in
Mm.
my head, and I kept looking at Maury in my head, there is only one person that
Mm.
can that can be married to PD. There is,
Wow.
because I knew PD first, and there is only
Yep.
one person that can do what she's doing
Yep.
effortlessly,
Mm.
gracefully, with
Mm.
smile and enjoying it, and the people
Mm.
around are not feeling pressured because
Mm.
our house was like everybody was just coming in and going out. She,
Wow.
mind you, she as our first daughter at that point was a toddler, and she was
Mm.
heavily pregnant with the second one. And
Mm.
yet she was, I think that weekend, if I'm not mistaken, they were
Mm.
preparing a meal to help someone, for someone that they would take to somebody's house, someone's
Yeah.
house. And that is who she had been up till now. Like,
Yeah.
she's so down to heart. She's so genuine. She's
Mm.
so real. And
Wow.
I find her very hilarious. Like, I don't know if this is other people, and and
Yes.
and a relationship with
Yeah.
teenagers. I find that so amazing. So I've had touch points with her over the years, whereby
Mm-hmm.
to South Africa. And then, so earlier this year, my husband and I were traveling to the UK for his uncle's birthday. And my husband was like, "Okay, we're going to go to PD and Pimo's church and go see them." I was like, "Definitely, I need to see my I
Right.
just need to see my friend." And
Yeah.
right from, she was monitoring, like right from till as we pulled up in church, she was there
Mm.
to welcome and send with
Mm.
people around and all that. And after service, they were like, "Oh, we need to go, we need to get to." She was like, "Lie, it's not possible." My husband and mommy, "It's not possible. You guys are going to the house. We're going to the
Yeah.
house, prepared meals." And I said to her
Wow.
there in their house, and I said, "There is something that I've always noticed about you. God surrounds you with the gift of people.
Yeah.
And it's because she manages it well. God doesn't
Sure.
give the gift of people to people who is, if you
Mm.
crash the hearts and the mind,
Mm.
is because these are his children as well, that is beloved, is passionate about. So
Absolutely.
if you're gonna make them to be crying every day coming to
Yeah.
him, God is gonna be like, "You know what? She doesn't need
Yeah.
you. Just
Yeah.
stay just on your side." But she
Yeah.
really knows how to manage people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's so down to heart. She's so unique. Her
Yeah.
fashion sense is out of the world. Her
Yes.
leadership
So.
style, her leadership style is unique in that
Yeah.
she's herself, and she does not compromise when
Mm.
the Lord says,
Yeah.
and she's sure when God says, and she does
Yeah.
not compromise. And when you
Yeah.
go to look at it, you realize that, yeah, she actually heard God right. Another personal
Absolutely.
example, when she said to me that I'm going to be the zonal, the going council member for Canada, we were not thinking of relocating to Canada. Oh, we were thinking of
Wow.
it,
Yep.
but I had not shared with anyone.
Mm. Mm.
And because we didn't even know if it was going to happen, because at that time I'd finished my PhD degree in South Africa, started working, and then I
Yeah.
was doing a postdoc. But before I started working, we started applying for postdoctoral positions
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So my husband was like, "Try Canada," and I'm like, "No, Canada is too cold. I don't want to go to
Mm.
Canada." And it was like, "People live in Canada, you know what?" So I was still at that stage, grappling with it, praying about it. So I was like,
Mm.
"Okay," and I met a friend at a leadership training that we had for like a 10 days intensive leadership
Mm-hmm.
training. It's called African Nutrition Leadership Training, whereby about 30 people, 30 young professionals
Mm-hmm.
in Africa come together in South Africa for this
Yeah.
10 days intensive training. And this
Yeah.
guy was running his PhD program at McGill. And I had the opportunity to talk about my PhD program. And afterwards, this guy came to me and like, "I know someone exactly. There's a professor at McGill that does the same thing that you're doing. And I think you're going to be a
Wow.
good fit." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I told my husband, I was like, "Okay, let's try it." So my heart was not really in it. But lo and behold, came Pimo, was like, "Shola, you're going to be," and I was like, "What? Do you even know?" So when it now happened, like months
Mm,
down the line, I was like,
mm,
I remember because I was doing research on my
yeah.
phone this morning, and I remember she was like, yeah, you wanted it, but God wanted you there, and that was the most important part.
Wow.
So I came into Canada as a member of the governing council, member
Yeah.
overseeing Canada,
Yeah.
6 months before we moved to Canada.
Wow. Wow. Pimo is not just Pimo. She's now a prophetess Pimo.
Yeah, she is. Oh, you didn't know that before.
Yes, yes, yes. She's a bundle of. I agree with everything you said. You cannot, in fact, we cannot say everything here. Pimo is just a bundle of energy. She's
Yeah,
impacted all of us
yeah,
over the years. I think there's only one person you can work with and get everything from her. The right vibes, When you talk about Christianity today, we have a lot of Christian leaders, Christian female leaders, and we know the way they are. Pimo is different. And that's what she models to all of us. And every day we can only just look up to her. I'm not sure there can be another Pimo. She's just, herself.
you,
Genuine,
you,
forthright. Yeah.
when you as you're saying something, I remember one of the key things that I learned at that leadership program I was talking
Yeah.
about. It's don't take yourself
Yeah.
too seriously, and
True.
that's who she is. Like
Yes.
she does not think she's the best thing since sliced bread. She's just who
No.
she is, and you can
Yes.
flow with that. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. And she has a gift of lead. She has a gift of people, just like you said. And God gave her those people because of who she is.
yeah.
At the end of the day, God knows that if He's able to assign these people to her, because she's able to impact
It's
their
good.
lives, and
Exactly.
together, partnership, they're able to get things done together. And that's just it. You'll
Yeah.
be amazed. So many people that I know today, I knew through Babes Redefined, and people that you cannot even imagine,
Yeah.
um you know what impact they have made on all of our lives. it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and thank God for her. Thank God that she hears God right and she goes ahead, because all of us, we've heard God at one point in time or the other in our lives, and somehow we've
We've
fallen
nodded.
short because we have not, we
Yep.
didn't have
Acted
enough
upon it.
courage.
Yep.
Thank you to her.
Yeah.
But she acted on it, and
Yeah.
it's been a meaningful,
Yeah.
journey all
and
along.
and,
Thank
and
God.
another thing that I
Yeah.
the gift of people that God gives her
Yes.
is also helpful for other people, because one of the best gifts that God
Mm.
has given me as an adult is
Yeah.
also the group of sisters that Pimo introduced me to in this governing council that I'm
Say it
speaking.
again.
So this 13,
Yeah.
and one of them is actually my cousin.
Mm.
But it's because
Yeah.
this community is we've been together on that like 15 years. I don't know when our WhatsApp group started. And
Yeah.
the reality is, in that 15 years, there are some that I haven't met in person, but my
Wow.
husband knows that these are people that are dear to my heart. Like
Yeah.
if something is wrong with one of them, something is wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
If one of them is celebrating, I'm going to be singing all around the house the whole day.
I know, right? I
I'm gonna be
know. I
all
know.
smiles. I'm gonna be,
Yes.
because this
Yes.
God has used this group of women to be a huge blessing, and that was through Maury.
Thank God. Thank God. Glory to God. Awesome. Awesome. How do you think BR, can continue to grow and thrive in the years to come? And what role do you see BR playing in the lives of its members, further down the line? We Let me put a context to that. A lot of things have changed. Like the previous speaker on this show said yesterday that people's attention spans have reduced, and that's because there are a lot of other groups out there, that are attending to babes needs as well. Lots of, groups, lots of spiritual organizations, religious organizations that are doing, similar things with what babes is doing. So what is your suggestion to how we can continue to grow and thrive in the midst of all of these distractions, that we call it, to make sure that babes are actually attending to that sole vision of growing the total woman?
Out of all these questions, this was the only question that I looked at, and I'm like, God, I genuinely do not have an answer. But God
Yeah.
does,
Yes.
and I prayed about that. And
Yeah.
one of the things that I will go about answering it in a roundabout way. So I spoke a lot about Babes Defined South Africa. I
Mm-hmm.
spoke a little about Canada, and I'll go
Yeah.
around about starting with Canada. One of the things, the blessings and the challenges of Babes Defined in a place like Canada, it's
Yes.
it's the vastness of the
Yes.
country.
Mm-hmm.
When we say vastness of the country, it's hard to comprehend for someone that doesn't live in a place like like Canada or the US to understand that you are in the same country
Mm-hmm.
and the person, one of those people, are 3 hours behind you or ahead of
Mm.
you.
Mm.
And the challenges this presents when you want to have a program,
Yeah.
even if it's online.
Yeah.
So if for people that are on Eastern time, if everybody realizing, okay, we're all women, we know how all those things work. Everybody's at work, but oh, okay, a Wednesday or a Friday evening will be good for this program. So let's have this at 8 p.m. on a Friday evening. Who's 8 p.m.?
CST, CST, EST. What else again? There's also mountain time.
Exactly. So who's 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
Because your 8 p.m. is someone else's
No,
11 p.m.
different.
And someone
Hmm.
else's 11 p.m. and your
Yeah.
8 p.m. someone else's 5 p.m. And
Correct.
those brings all the intricacies and the challenges of it.
Hmm.
So, but despite all that, so I also actually want to give a shout out to the Babes Who Defined zonal coordinators that I worked with. So
Yeah.
Babes Anatu, Femi Ndule was the zonal
Yeah.
coordinator when I came on board.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
after a while, we had Babes Scholastica being the assistant. And these
Yes.
babes were amazing. Like in
Yeah.
us, because that's one of the things that I first had to grapple with when I joined. Like, okay, this is a different terrain. These are different challenges.
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
also the fact that a lot of babes that are just relocated to a different country, like Canada,
Mm.
they're just finding their food. So
Mm.
all of this I'm trying to get to say, I'm not one of the ways we can, I believe God is laying on my heart,
Yeah.
consolidation,
Mm.
consolidation of the relationships that we've built
Mm.
so
Mm.
know
Mm.
how hard and how difficult is it. We just had a Canadian celebration of the 15th year anniversary, which you
Yeah.
were a major part of, even the organizing and everything. For
Yeah.
example, I couldn't even come. I couldn't come
Yeah.
because I just came back from a work 2 weeks work trip, 24 hours flight. So there
Yes.
was no how I would be a zombie. But at the same time, if this
Exactly.
was perchance happening 30 minutes drive down the line, I would still have come, even if it's to
Yeah.
curl up on the sofa and
Mm-hmm.
sleep. But it was happening 6 hours drive away from me and six
Mm.
hours drive away from me, and we're in the same province.
Imagine.
That's not even a different province, like
Exactly.
Ottawa to this particular place. So
Yeah.
these are the challenges that in diaspora, because my heart had always been about babes to define diaspora, because I've
Mm.
never been babes to define in Nigeria, because I was out of Nigeria when babes to
Mm-hmm.
define started. So
Mm.
my heart had always been around, God, what are you doing through the diasporan community, for even
Mm.
for the diasporan community?
Yeah.
How can we? And it was, I think it was babes Daba
Yeah.
that spoke about how when you pick the vision, you as a leader don't just say they said we should do this. Think about
Mm.
how can we modify this within our own space. And
Mm.
Babes Bookie also spoke about that uniqueness of the UK as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and now compound that. I can imagine when US, US and Canada compound
Yes.
that with that, because for some programs, you can even it might even be easier for us to do with the Eastern people in the US compared
Very
to,
true.
but there is still that need for that brother umbrella,
Yeah.
and how do we consolidate what we have on ground,
Yeah.
make it firmer, make
Mm-hmm.
it make it have be more evolve into what God, and also understanding what's the expression to be
Mm.
like for a
Mm.
place that has its uniqueness, for
Yep.
a zone that has different uniqueness, for a country
Yeah.
that has uniqueness and all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like you pointed out that Babes Folake said about how there are so many groups out there that are also doing, because let's be real, when God drops an
Yes.
idea, he doesn't
Mm-hmm.
drop it just one person. God
True.
doesn't waste a seed.
Yeah.
He disperses it. It just depends on the amount of people that pick it up. So,
Correct.
and one group cannot meet the need of everybody in the
No
world.
way.
It's impossible.
No
So,
way. Mm-hmm.
how do we, with the ones the Lord has committed into our hands, how do we
Yeah.
consolidate on that?
I hear
Another
you.
another thing for me is
Yeah.
also our goal to reach out to the next generation.
Mm,
And I'm in that space whereby I'm having my own, even a bit of challenges. Like I was talking about these sisters, these amazing sisters. I've gone into my closet, which is also my prayer room, called Babes Adetutu, Babes Tuski, or Shofora, to be like,
mm.
I don't know. I don't know what to
How
do.
to deal with them?
I don't, and she'll be like, Sister Shola, Sister, because I'll be like, Sister Tutu, I just don't get it. Like, calm down. This is it. See, when I was in
Yeah.
similar situation, because she's the one that I know that has older kids,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you've gone through this, and even on our chat, Maury
Mm,
jokes about it, like this is basically where it's you that we're looking at right now regarding these challenges. But
yeah.
so it's how do we reach, and that's what has been coming to my heart. How do we
Mm,
get to talk to them in their own spaces? Because they're not on Facebook, and they're
mm,
not they're not a Facebook
mm,
generation.
mm.
They're not a Facebook generation.
Wow.
They have Instagram, but it's sometimes it's just to touch base. It's
Yeah.
more about snaps. Like I've
TikTok,
refused
Snap,
at TikTok and Snap. I've refused to. I don't know why. I need to repent. And
Snapchat.
it's what has been coming to my heart. How do
Yeah.
we get to them in their space?
Mm, mm, mm. That was profound. Thank you so much for those, James. I hear two things. One, consolidating on our previous legacy, right? What have we done in the past? Make sure that we're able to bring back all our babes, understand their needs, and fashion our what do you call it, our programs, our events, everything we're doing to accommodate the new needs, right? And then I hear you on the second one, reaching out to the younger generation. And I think, that is actually on our plate. I'm sure the advisory board, everyone is aware. That is God's vision for us. In the next level, we're going to be building, leaving legacy behind to all of our younger generations and building them up, to the standard that God wants, and letting them get, entrenched in the vision of BR as well. So
Yeah,
that's a big one. And it also means we have to take the same approach. We have to make sure that we meet them where they are. They're not on Facebook. Facebook is not their thing. We need to make sure that we're able to meet them using the same medium that they use currently today.
yeah,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I'm sure the leaders are watching and we're getting those gems, and we're noting them, and I'm sure we're going to be using them, to advance BR to the next level by the grace of God. So I
amen.
have the final question. We're almost over our time by about 2 minutes, but we'll be rounding up very soon. And the final question is, looking back on your time with Babes Redefined, what are you most proud of, and what legacy do you hope that current leaders can leave behind as they move up higher?
Relationship, people,
Mm,
people. I am
mm,
really proud of the people, the babes, the things that
yes.
God has achieved through
Mm,
them. Because on this earth, God uses people, and babes have made themselves available for God to use.
hallelujah.
And that for me, it's
Yeah.
what I'm yeah, I'm so proud of that.
Yes.
I'm so proud of that. I'm also so proud of the growth as well
Yeah.
for
Yep.
each individual, even for myself as well, because there
Mm.
are some things like 15 years ago, I'll be like, really? No, stop. Now what are you talking about? And then now I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and my
Yeah.
apologies to Yoruba speaking babes. Like, Yorubas will say, I original, Neil, my jacking or so,
Mm.
Baba, everybody, Lord, that my dad's
Yeah.
farm is bigger than every other person's farm. You
Yes.
haven't been to other people's farm.
Mm.
Maybe you've only been to the farm of your
Yeah.
village, all the farms in
Yes.
your village, and you
Yeah.
haven't been all over the world. And then you
Yeah.
realize that, oh, I've got so
Yeah.
much to learn.
Yeah.
So the
Yep.
people, the relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and it's there is nothing we want to achieve in life. You said you want to go
Yeah.
far, you go alone. You want to go
Yes.
far, you go with people.
With
It,
people.
and that's why one of the best gifts God gives
Yeah.
people is the gifts of people.
Yeah.
Because the money you need for this
Yeah.
vision, God has committed it into the hands of some people. The
Absolutely.
ideas you need to be able to, God could give you the ideas to the expression of it on earth is going to use people. So I am proud
Absolutely.
of the babes. Like I'm proud of the new leaders.
Yep.
I'm proud of the new leaders and what you
Yeah.
guys are doing right now because
Yes.
it's more challenging than when we
Mm.
were leaders. Because when we were leaders, yes, at the initial stage, and kudos to Babes Daisy for the amazing role she played at the initial
Yeah.
stage. And
Yeah.
at some point it got to a stage whereby it was almost like it was running itself. But
Mm.
now you guys have a different challenge.
Yep.
A lot of people do not even go to Facebook, unlike
Yeah.
before, where they used
True.
to go before. So you guys have a different challenge. So I'm proud of the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So proud of that as well. And of
Thank
course,
you.
oh, and my covenant sisters, oh my word, those ladies.
Yes.
I mean, they're amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, babes Shola Shotunde, for sharing your insights. We are proud of you as well.
Oh,
You guys are the icons of, babes you defined. You're the people we look up to and we
oh,
say,
wow.
see our leaders, they're doing well, they're conquering in all phases of life, and we thank God for that. And to everyone watching tonight, thank you for joining us. If you know someone that could benefit from this and is not online right now, make sure you share the link with them. This video is a must watch for all of us, especially leaders. I strongly recommend that you go back and watch all the former editions as well as this one if you've missed anyone. Some gems have been shared. Do not let those gems go unnoticed. We need to make sure that we are imbibing all of that. And as we move on to the next level, we only just started 15 years, we're only just starting. We're going on higher by the grace of God. Thank you for your time, Babes Sholasha, today. And do have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Babes Dolapo.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Yes,
Bye.
bye.
Yeah. Bye.